Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm sitting there quietly. She knows that I'm waiting for someone else to jump on the call and say something.
Good morning.
Good morning. And as promised, an even better shirt today. All right.
Yeah.
8:01. Let's get rolling. Good morning, Audra. Good morning, Jalen. Good morning, Chris. Good morning, Kevin. Good morning, Jamie. Good morning, Michael. Good morning, John. Good morning, Tyler, Corey, Lisa, Nina, Shannon, Amanda, and a bunch of random online things. Good morning. So, how are we this fine Wednesday morning? It's hump day. Let's get into it. What beautiful things do you want to celebrate with us? What wins? What awesomeness? What are you proud of? 3 people. Let's go.
I'll jump in.
All right. I got Corey, and then I don't know who else is next. Jalen, maybe.
So it's not really real estate related, but I used that video, the Steve Harvey video you showed us the other day, with a group of kids that I was working with, just to kind of get them motivated. They loved it, man. They absolutely loved it.
That's awesome. A lot of the things that we talk about on this call is not just real estate, it's life. So share it, especially to the youth, man. They need it. Good job, Corey. All right, next.
Yesterday, I went up to Phoenix with Aaron and went to the mastermind that Chase held out there, and it was my first time in Phoenix, and got to get some insight on what a mastermind is about, and I don't know, just reinforce everything that I've been learning from you all on how I should be thinking and whatnot, and kind of not only the real estate aspect, but everything else outside of it to keep you moving forward.
That's awesome, Jalen. I've got some ideas when it comes to masterminding and putting yourself in a bigger room. Hear me when I say, if you are the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. Go put yourself around people doing more, thinking bigger, thinking differently. And masterminds are a great place to learn some of that. So great job going there, Jalen. I'm excited for your exposure. All right, someone else, one more.
Haven't quit yet.
Haven't quit yet. Fuck yeah. I think that in itself is a win. Everyone take your right hand. Who was that?
It gets tough and then it gets better.
Just like anything, man. Mike's out riding a bike and he's got a really easy thing to showcase real estate. It's like a bike ride. When you're going uphill, is it easy? No. What happens if you stop pedaling on the upside?
Go down.
You go backwards, right? You go backwards. Even if you're pedaling just to move an inch a minute, forward momentum will keep you moving until you get to the top and it crests. And then what happens?
Then
You still keep pedaling.
You still keep pedaling, right? When you're on flat ground.
It's only a break if you stop pedaling.
Yeah, it's only a problem if you stop pedaling, right? Bikes are like that. Now, if you're on flat ground, every pedal gets you moving, right? Every pedal gets you moving. What happens if you keep pedaling, but you're going downhill? It gets a lot easier. You're moving a lot faster. You're making up time. So in real estate, every pedal is like a phone call. Every pedal is a conversation. Every pedal is a message on Facebook. It's a contact that you're making to connect with someone in your database. And I know it's tough when you're first getting started, or you're going through a dry spell, or you just don't feel like it. These are the times that you must pedal. You got to get up that hill. You got to get past this friction, because every phone call, every contact, every text message, every opportunity propels you a little bit forward. And you don't know where your hill's going to break. Some of us have been climbing a hill for years. Some of us are still pedaling up a very steep mountain. It may feel like it's vertical at times. All this energy, and I'm not going anywhere. But trust me when I tell you, you are moving forward. You might be moving forward so slow you think you're failing. But as long as you're moving forward and you're consistently moving forward, you're going to find that you get to the top of that hill, and all of a sudden, business becomes easy. Conversations become easy. Objections become easy. And holy shit, now you've got multiple deals in escrow. You got things moving. You're downhill, baby. But what a lot of people do when they're riding a bike downhill,
They coast.
they coast. They stop pedaling. Just like in real estate, when a lot of great things are going your way, we stop pedaling. We stop putting effort in and we quit pushing ourselves further and further. We're just letting our momentum from yesterday carry us forward. So when you hit that next hill, you got to pedal hard again. What happens if you continue to pedal even on the downstroke? Doesn't it make that next hill a whole lot easier? Some of us used to call that a ramp. You go flying off the other side. This is where breakthroughs happen. So just like in real estate and business and in life, we're going to go through situations that are uphill. We're going to go through trials. We're going to go through demand, but you got to keep pedaling. Go ahead, Mikey.
So actually 10 years ago, I used to really be consistent in cycling. And I'd say in the past year, I've probably picked it up, and I've been very adamant about it lately because it is a mindset helper for me. The improvement, the improvement comes from the consistency. It proves that if I'm more consistent, I accomplish more. And it's been helping me out of a funk that I've been in probably the last 8 months. I've been doing okay, but I've been in a funk and I haven't been doing what I know I'm capable of.
Consistency. You guys hear that? Consistency. You want to get out of some rut in your life? Do something positive for yourself consistently. The only thing that will kill you with consistent effort is drug use. Consistently making phone calls, consistently talking to people, consistently praying, meditating, working out. These things aren't going to kill you, but we run from them, right? Some of us might smoke cigarettes. That's a drug. If you consistently do it, it's going to kill you. Some of us are drinkers. We like a little tilt to the sauce. You consistently do that, it'll kill you. But giving hugs, I mean, if you hug someone too long, they might kill you. However, positive things are not a bad thing. And even it says in the MRA, we've talked about it, page 308, every day, the energy plan. Every day, you're looking at meditating and praying, eating and physical exercise, hug, kiss, and laugh. Get your emotional energy out. Plan and calendar, that is your mental energy. Get yourself clear and focused and lead generate everything before 11 o'clock. And let me tell you that if you spend your mornings scrambling because you woke up late or you're not prepared or you're ill-planned, it's really hard to get a lot of stuff done by 11 o'clock. Now, all of us have woken up early one day and got a whole lot of stuff done before anyone else in the house is awake, right? Can you think about that day? How focused was the rest of your day? How energetic were the rest of your chores? You got to like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, you're like, holy crap, I'm done. Laundry's done, food's done, house is clean, chickens are taken care of, the horses are back in their pen. Boom, 3 o'clock, I'm done. All because you started early and you hit the ground running and you weren't frantic. If you got something happening at 8 o'clock every day, plan yourself accordingly. Maybe go to bed a little bit earlier. I have a rule in my house. For me, I don't care about the kids. The kids, it's automatic. 8:30, the TV downstairs goes off. 8:30, the internet gets shut off to the kids' devices. 8:30 is bedtime. Because I know it takes those little shits about 30 minutes to calm down and go to sleep. They're running around getting snacks and doing things, but it's about 30 minutes and they pass out. But then they wake up with plenty of time in the morning to be ready for school. And we're not frantic. You know what? Last year, we didn't have the 8:30 rule. We just kind of put them to bed when we were tired. We tried to be at 8:30, 9 o'clock, 9:30, sometimes 10. But I'll tell you that the mornings are way easier now. that there's a system to it. Every night, Skylar comes up to me and says, well, the internet turned off. Dude, it's been turning off at 8:30 since school started. It's not going to change. He gets upset about it, but he goes and he pouts for 30 minutes and he goes to sleep. But you want to know, when I wake him up in the morning, I'm not waking up a little demon anymore. I'm waking up somebody who's ready for the day, and I get to give him some extra time. But if we want to eat, exercise, play, laugh, hug, meditate, business plan, and lead generate in the mornings, we might need to be setting ourselves up for success the day before. Remember that your day started last night. So let me hear from you. What conversations, topics, or objections would you like to work on this morning so that we can sharpen your sword so you can go out there and battle the day?
So how about the clients whose expectations, like, so right now with the way the market is, there's people that need homes, right? But their expectations for the homes aren't aligning with what is in their budget.
Tell
Right?
me more.
So some of, like, one of them like, hey, it's your job to find me that $400,000 house for $250,000. Like, why are you not doing your job?
Well, Jamie, I am a miracle worker. But if I find a $400,000 house for $250,000, I'm buying it. The reality is, Jamie, the $400,000 house is now for $250 or $250,000 was 4 years ago. What kept you from buying then?
Oh, so you switch it back on. So now it's a question, right? As soon as you ask the question, now you're in control of the conversation, and now you're making
questions controls the conversation.
Okay.
Let's role play it, Jamie.
Okay. Hey, Dan. You've been sending me a lot of homes. I realize that the prices you're showing me are what kind of is in my budget, but I'm just really not liking anything. I really need that big backyard for my dogs. I really want the 4 bedrooms, and I'm just not seeing any of it.
Okay. Well, Jamie, are you open to moving your location?
As long as I need to be 30 minutes from work. I don't care what direction it is, just as long as I'm 30 minutes from work.
Not to exceed.
I guess if I had to for the right house, I'd probably go out 40 minutes.
Okay. Break script. Did I not just open up our search pattern like another 15 miles with one question?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Tyler.
Can you go a little further, because that changing the search 10 minutes in the other direction is not going to equate to $150,000 price difference.
No, but what it is it's subtly peeling them off this ideology of finding the perfect house in the perfect location. And now I know we have flexibility. This is a crack in the armor, as you will, that allows me to dive deeper. So continue, Jamie. So, Jamie, I understand you want to be within 40 minutes of the house. So tell me, the big backyard, the 4-bedroom house, what else?
So, and really, ideally, I'd have a 3-car garage, but to me, I have dogs. So really the backyard's the most important thing. The 4th bedroom is, I need it for an office. I want to work from home.
Okay. So if we found a 3-bedroom with a den, that would work. And then 3-car garage would be a nice, but not a must. However, a bigger yard for the dogs is a must.
Yes.
And the stuff that's out there, Jamie, that you're liking, where's it fall in your price range?
Honestly, right now, it's everything that you're showing, everything that I'm finding on my searches and Zillow and stuff's about $100K higher than what.
Okay.
So now you just walked me into admitting that even the things I'm finding aren't.
I walked you into the fact that you're the issue, not me.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing, Jamie. Yes, a lot of the houses you like are $100,000 more. How much more room do we think we have in the budget?
Yeah, I'm stretched right now. I really want to stay under, $2,000 a month.
Okay. Not to exceed.
Is it really, at the end of the day, I just don't want to be over $2,000.
Okay. So what is it about the $2,000 a month thing? Tell me.
It's just almost like I know no matter what, I can always make that. There's no issue with me making that payment.
Right. And an additional $100,000 in a house would put you where?
I don't know. It seems like a lot more than that.
Okay. $2,500, $2,600 a month. So Jamie,
Yeah,
let
that-
me ask you, if you found the perfect house, would it be worth it to you to spend an extra $150 a week?
yeah, I could probably find that.
Okay. So if you find the right house and we can move it up into that 150, maybe $200 a week more, that would be viable, right?
I would definitely reach out to my LO and have the discussion with them and look at my finances.
Okay. Well, let's get that conversation started, Jamie, because if you want to find the right house, we got to make sure we have the right budget in line. Now, go ahead and hit me the objection with I don't want to go over the budget.
You know what? I cannot go over $2,000. I'm not going to do it.
Hey, I got it, Jamie. What's more important to you, the house that you want or the financial stability?
Really, right now, with the way everything is, the financial stability is the most important thing to me.
Okay. Are you willing to make some concessions to get there?
Yeah, you know what? To be honest, if I can get a house, get out of the where I'm at right now, I guess I can look differently at the house search if that's what it's going to take, right? Because I can't go over on the finances.
Yeah. Jamie, I want to give you the perfect home. I do. I want to find you the perfect house, and maybe we will one day, but this is a stepping stone. So tell me, within your budget, what are your must-haves?
I need the big yard. I want to be, somewhat close to work, and I definitely need my 4 bedrooms.
Okay. Are we willing to have a house that needs a little bit of work?
I shouldn't have to at this price point.
Well, you shouldn't, Jamie. And that's the thing is if we'd have bought a house 4 years ago, we wouldn't have this conversation, would we?
Yeah, but this is where I'm at now. And 4 years ago, I wasn't in a opportunity to even buy. So I wasn't even looking.
Exactly. So we're looking for things that were priced 4 years ago. We got to look in the market today. So if we find you something that's going to work, how much work are you willing to put into a home that would fit your style that you could put a little bit of elbow grease into and make it perfect?
I'm willing to deal with paint. Outside of that, I don't really want to do much else.
So simple cosmetic stuff, not an issue. Fine. Awesome. I think that simple cosmetic stuff goes a long way, don't you?
Yeah, then I can make it kind of my own.
Yep.
But I don't want any big problems that I have to deal with.
Oh, God, no. And we're going to do our inspections to make sure we can uncover any of those large issues and remedy them right away. Break script. How has his demeanor changed?
More conciliatory.
So Anthony put in the chat that stepping stone is the go-to. Then I touch base as my journey from barracks to townhome to my current house, right? Right now, we can even say it's a stepping stone. I'm asking you to date this house, not marry it. This is going to be a house in 2 or 3 years from now. We're going to jumpstart you into a rental and put you more in a house that's perfect for you. And you're going to have some income properties. Another thing I like to talk about is the 80-10-10 house. Can anyone tell me what the 80-10-10 house is?
Is that where you're putting the 80? It's 80% loan, then 10% down, 10% second, where you're getting rid of the PMI?
Close. It's 80% of the house that you wanted.
Oh,
it's 80% perfect. 10% of the things that you're going to live with, and 10% of the things you were going to change anyways. The reality is here, do we know exactly how much 10% of the house change is? Let's say it's a $400,000 house. 10% change is a $40,000 change. Has anyone remodeled a house before?
Yeah.
Right? How much can you do with 40 grand? It's a whole lot of paint.
Yeah.
It's a whole lot of everything. When we get people off of the idea of perfect, we provide them with opportunities. Our job, number one job as a real estate agent, is to provide perspective, right? We have to give them the truth of the reality here, right? You weren't in a place 4 years ago. Now you are here where we're at. If you want to stay in your budget, we have to reduce the house. If you want the perfect house, we have to increase your budget. And then what was that simple little question I kept asking that moved him up in budget and in location? It wasn't even
it was kind of like a A or a B, like, hey, like this is where we're at. Which one is more important to you? And then you kept going down okay, that one's now what's more important than that? And you kept kind of walking me through essentially rating my level of importance of each item I'd listed for you.
I'm helping identify, not only for myself, but for you again, what are the major points of the home that matter? If it's location, neighborhood, then we stick there. If it's house size and lifestyle, then we stick there. If it's safety and security, then we stick there. Motivation is a very powerful thing that we can use in our conversations. It allows us to move people through conversations where they can change what they're looking for. They can then go against their own objections. Because when somebody makes a hard stance, it's very hard for them to back off of it. I told you I want a 4-bedroom. Okay, but then you ask them, what's that 4-bedroom going to be? Oh, I need that 4th bedroom to be an office. Oh, so if we actually found you a 3-bedroom that had a den, that would work. Now you've given them the opportunity to back off of that hard stance. If you deal with a client like my dad, he's going to remind you of the things he's already told you. However, if you give my dad the opportunity to back down his statement or to retract his firm stance, he will change his mind if given an opportunity to do so. When people are unrealistic, it's very hard to get them through a process. But when we can have conversations about expectations, line them with lifestyle versus financial, we find out what's the more motivating factor. Well, some people absolutely cannot afford more than this. Okay, great. So when you are dead set on $2,000 a month, because that is the max amount of your financial ability, that is the max amount of your down payment, that is the max amount of your closing costs, all of these factors in play, then we say, okay, well, we can't move on our financials. So we got to find a house that fits within them. What are we going to do? Are we going to find a smaller house or one that's a little bit further away from an epicenter? 40 minutes away from wherever you're looking for is a long way. Maybe one neighborhood that they're focused on is a primo neighborhood. You have to be the expert of your area to know if there's a similar neighborhood in a less desirable side of town. Like, I know Mikey's house really well. I know his neighborhood really well. That same neighborhood, and Mikey lives in a premium neighborhood in Tucson. It's Northwest, it's heritage, it's very sought after. But that exact same builder built houses on the east side. A little bit smaller yards, but it's effectively the same home. The difference being about $50,000 in sales price. Can you move somebody in those areas? I wish Chris was on the call this morning and he could showcase, because Chris Martinez did an open house, picked up a buyer on a Northwest property, very similar to, it's actually a couple of streets away from Mikey's house. Picked up a buyer that could not afford to live in that neighborhood. And Chris was brand new. And I said, hey, are they willing to live on the other side of town? Because there's a similar neighborhood on the east side. And it's still within their bubble of transit, that 30-minute window. They're under contract.
You know, one thing as you were going through all that, one thing that I thought of is when you go to the eye doctor and they say, tell me which one's better, 1, 2, 1, 2, A, B. That's kind of was like you're making those scenarios and getting them to look through a different lens and breaking down their walls is what I kind of thought of as you were talking through all that.
And it simplifies that conversation, right? Because instead of looking at every single, a super complex thing, right? All the different emotions, all the different wants, needs, desires, can'ts, like all of them together is overwhelming. But if you just break it down to a this or that, okay, cool. Now we got that. Okay, now what about this or that? You simplify the conversation and drill down to what their actual driving factors are.
When we can do that, we can guide people through a process. It's just like setting an appointment, right? Mikey, it sounds like it's going to be a good idea for us to get together. Are you available on mornings or afternoons?
Afternoons seem to work best for me.
Okay. Do you like earlier in the week or later in the week?
How about the middle of the week?
Okay. Around
Let's do 3 o'clock.
Wednesday, 3 o'clock?
Wednesday, 3 o'clock would work.
Has anyone struggled to get an appointment with somebody because they didn't know? You do the same step process, this or that, this or that, this or that. Like the eye doctor, 1 or 2, 1 or 2, 1 or 2, 1 or 2. And if you throw out a third option, the third option is the one you want them to pick, and they're often going to pick the third option. Do you like mornings, afternoons, or evening? They're like, oh, I like evenings. So we can step people through a process and guide them like that. Oftentimes, I coach you to ask open-ended questions because you get a lot more conversation out of open-ended questions. But sometimes you can't get an open-ended question. Sometimes you've got somebody who is so lost in the sauce that you need to back them into a position and help them guide to it. This or that, this or that, this or that. And then tell me more. Open up the conversation to get more information. That's the open-ended of it. Tell me more. And else. What else? And then, not to exceed. It's funny when someone says, hey, Dan, I don't want to pay more than $2,000 a month. Okay, not to exceed. And Jamie's all, well, I might be able to go up a little bit. Well, how much is a little bit? Be good at fast math. And you're going to have to figure this out. If it's $600 a month, that's $150 a week, right? That's 6 divided by 4, 1.5. Now, how much does $100,000 add to your monthly? How much does $50,000 add to your monthly? How much does $10,000 add to your monthly? Can you get somebody a better home for a $25,000 change in price? Hell, it might only be a $10,000 change in price. So if it's $600 per $100,000, what is it for $10,000? I know you guys are doing math this morning. You might hate me, but you got to know this stuff. Somebody say 60 bucks.
60.
Thank you, Mara. You're so good at math. So what is 60 bucks a month? Let's reduce it to the ridiculous.
$2 a day.
So Jamie, are you asking me to find you a house that's only going to cost you $2 a day more?
Are you going to pay that $2 a day for me, Dan?
Jamie, if I have to, I will. But I think I'm going to find you a house you're going to love so much you're not even going to worry about it.
You know what? If it's $2,060, then I wouldn't even worry about that, Dan.
Thanks, Chris. But when you reduce it to the ridiculous, you get people off of a finite number.
You just kind of break that wall down a little bit just to get them, okay, what can I do actually?
All I need is a small gap in the armor, a small chink in the armor, because that allows me to get in there and start creating doubt. Like I did with you. You self-identified you're the issue, not me. You're the one sending me all these houses. Well, all the houses I find are $100,000. Oh, great, it's me. I'm the problem. You are the Taylor Swift song. Hi, it's me. I'm the problem, right?
Yeah.
When you're working through very incredulous people, you're gonna have to find chinks in the armor and be a little bit more tactical. Like dance with the conversation. Don't be stuck on an outcome. You're like, oh man, $400,000 house would be nice. That's a big commission. Maybe it's going to be a $300,000 house that's a little further out of town that they got to put a little bit of work into, but you can show them the value there. Or maybe it's a house that's a stepping stone they live in for the next 2 or 3 years and then rent it out. Lot of growth potential here. Jamie, great conversation topic. Did you guys learn something today? I miss seeing all the other faces. I hope you guys are on the call. I see a bunch of Blake screens, but I love seeing faces on the calls. So tomorrow morning, we're going to do this again. Same time, same channel.
Yep.
Okay. You know how we end the calls, right? Big high fives.